Greetings, Twilight Struggle fans, and welcome to the ITSL playoffs here on Action Round Zero. I'm Justin Abramson. Former New York Grand Slam champion J.R. Jones is coming right up. And today from the Tenerife Conference, we've got a second round Polish standoff, as it were, between Jarek Grzaslewicz and Katsiaryna Makouskaya. These two players combined for an even 30 regular season victories, with Katya earning the top wildcard spot at 16-4 and Jarek going 14-6. Jarek won his first round matchup to earn the right to take on Katya, who has acquitted herself quite well in her second ITSL campaign. We'll have game one of this series for you today, and then tomorrow we'll be back with game two, and if necessary, a winner-take-all game three. So wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is for you, we're glad you're here with us for Twilight Struggle's Big Dance on Twilight Struggle's biggest stage. Now let's bring in J.R. Jones. J.R. will be watching from Jarek's side today. He is the USA for Game 1. Talk me through this opening hand and what you think Jarek will try to accomplish on turn 1.
Yeah, Justin. This is, I would say, an okay opening hand. You probably wish you had a few more. If you get purged, you start to feel it for sure. But in a world where you're not purged here, I'm happy to blockade away Sokov's turn 1. Middle East scoring looks like a great headline. And then you got a decent number of ops to fight in Asia or Europe, depending on how the rest of the turn goes.
Yeah, not a bad opening hand at all. And I was just going to say this. I normally don't like to go 3-3-2, but this seems like a situation where maybe you headline Middle East, and then with Sokov's in your hand, you then event Marshall later. But yeah, this seems
Yeah,
like a perfectly fine opening hand as long as we don't see Vietnam or you know what.
that's right. The one thing I do worry, not that I wouldn't do it here, but the one thing I do worry about with the 3-3-2 is, especially when you score the Middle East, it kind of incentivizes the other player to attack Europe. Okay, Defector's not going to do a whole lot here, but I would be worried about an Italy coup now.
Yep, and that's exactly what happens. Katya takes the coup, and Jarek is sad about that, I'm sure, but he's going to get Marshall down right away, and so that means he's going to be able to. He's not going to get dominated in Europe.
True. It does, make you worry a little when you can't spread out in the Middle East at all. I think that you had to go ahead and event Marshall right away there and get it
Yep,
gone. But now we're in a vulnerable position in the rest of the board.
we are a little bit, and that's oh boy, a big role, and that is sad to see. However, I think Jarek can be pretty confident that Katya does not have Decall or Vietnam because she certainly would have headlined either one of them with defectors in hand.
Yes, I was thinking exactly that. You probably could have tried to spread out towards Thailand right there. Your only risk would be D-stall, but I doubt she would use D-stall to take Asia Dom, even if she did take Thailand with it.
Yeah. So yeah, NATO, Warsaw, now NORAD. So far, Katya looking plenty smart for headlining defectors. Normally, if you hear me, if any of us watch me play knows I really like to hold defectors, but it doesn't seem like that was an option for Katya.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Definitely would agree with that. Um, Curious to see what's going to happen now. No, I guess maybe she'll just start spreading out in Asia, even with it scored here, because I mean, I don't think she's really got any chance at Europe, Dom.
Yeah, that makes sense. You want to overprotect Italy. If I'm Yarek, I definitely want to take at least one of the Mediterranean countries. If I'm Yarek, I definitely want to coup, get DEFCON down to secure Thailand.
Yeah, yeah. I think that being able to get into Thailand is very important. You don't want to leave it as is right now and then open yourself up to a decall or a Vietnam to just lose it on AR1.
Oh, Romanian could have been an event, but I can understand really wanting to get into India. Oh, a
Oh,
huge roll!
okay.
Wow. Okay, that's a big moment in this game. That's a really annoying roll for Katya.
Yeah, and I mean she did already get into Western Asia, but he scored it already. So I mean, who knows what it'll look like by then, and that really causes some problems.
Yep, could make IP
I
war stronger. Gives Yarek just a little bit of a foothold there in Asia, in the Middle East as well. even though both are scored. That's a really important role.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, oh, and she leaves it open.
Yeah, Yarek probably figuring Yarek has too much to do here. Yarek wants
Right.
to, with Romanian gone. That Romania actually kind of an important card here. I would have now Katya can't take Europe Dom in the headlines, so Yarek doesn't need to worry about taking a Mediterranean country. Okay,
And
secures
I
Thailand
like
makes sense. Yes. Sorry, go ahead, Jr.
I like how I like how he did that. I like taking Thailand there. Obviously, she can still flip it if she gets some access to it, which she did not because all the access is right here. But I like getting into Pakistan there just to threaten the western half of Asia.
Yeah, and I think these were literally all the cards we were afraid of. Right, De Gaulle, Decall, Vietnam, Purge, all in our hand. So I don't think, and Yarek's going to headline Purge, which means I don't think he's going to accomplish much this turn, but probably Katya will not either, unless she gets a quick D-stall off and maybe wants to start spreading around.
Yeah, I don't know how many ops are left in the deck. We saw a ton of four. We saw, I think, almost all the fours last. I think only USJ is left. So I really would have considered just headlining Europe here and keeping that four op in hand because we do have a lot of things we want to do with our ops. And I mean, now we have very few clean ops for the rest of this turn, even with UN in our hand.
Completely agree with you, Jr. I would have headlined Europe. It's safe. Suez cost us a point. Yeah, that's annoying. We're still not going to get dominated.
No,
But that gets one into France, which threatens Algeria, right?
right.
Presumably that's where the one is going to go.
Yeah, I think one into France makes a ton of sense.
Katya
Um,
is not going
because
to
yeah,
try and fight for Dom while Purged and Marshall has got getting off, but the one in France is significant. Yeah, definitely would have preferred a
because
Europe headline.
nice miss. It's difficult with this hand for us to even get two into Algeria this turn. I mean, we have so much to do. Like you need to spread out in Asia. You probably want to secure your position in the Middle East a little bit. Like
Yeah,
this is just a challenge.
yeah. What is he going to do now? Now blockade is gone, so you could UND call for a clean two ops if you wanted, or UN. I suppose you could UN De Gaulle and space decall. Um, yeah,
I know you. Go ahead.
no, I think that's right. You don't have the ops here. I wondered if he might even just use Truman there to get Katya out of France.
Yeah, I was considering that. I do think I know that you despise it, but I do think that this is a UN De Gaulle hand for me, just so you can have those three ops. Um, Interesting. Okay. Kind of some interesting priorities there. I don't know that Iran would have been my number one priority as her. I might have gone with Algeria before that. Um, I do think that that is suggesting she does not have IP war, or she would have filled Pakistan.
Yep.
And a quick Vietnam space means that we're now committing to either UNing decall or just holding it like this.
Yeah. Yep. And I think that's right. Yeah, you have to take Laos there. There's no question. And you're now giving De Gaulle. So, which giving De Gaulle maybe is fine because you trigger it and you could put the two back in. Okay. Well, that's why we didn't see Algeria. And oh boy, we're going to see a late D-stall here. But there's not much Yarek can do to contest this. He's going to have to go Angola here, right? Isn't this Angola?
Yeah,
Why Libya? I don't understand. Isn't this Angola and then Zaire?
I guess he's just thinking that he wants Libya before he triggers Nasser. But yeah, I think it needed to be Angola there. And then maybe you get off a really ugly De Gaulle where you go like one Zaire, one France, one Colombia or something. I don't know. I, I don't like this. This is just conceding
This is just
a clean known D stall into Africa.
I don't like this from Yarek. Yeah, I would have rather seen him fight harder. I would have rather seen him go Angola Zaire. You can give up Nasser AR6 with Libya empty. Yeah, it's annoying. But you're probably getting Libya in that case anyway. And even if you don't, even if, Libya also at the moment, since we have to give up Nasser, doesn't look like it's going to decide Middle East domination, or at least it won't decide it if it comes back next turn. Boy. Okay, so now you're going to get a clean D-stall. Angola, Venezuela, Chile, and where else?
Maybe Nigeria for me. Uh, Indonesia. Indonesia, maybe she can fight on country count. There are still two open contested battlegrounds in Asia, so that's, maybe a bit of a pipe dream, but
I don't. Yeah, I think I would have gone Nigeria, but okay. Um, yeah, and Jarek uses Truman for the event in France after De Gaulle, so that does work out for him. But Katya able to get into Algeria first. Now, Katya, if she's got any ops at all, she's going to want. I believe we saw she has containment, right? So will this be
yeah,
Algeria, Venezuela? Will it be Zaire, Venezuela? What will this be?
I like Algeria, Venezuela. CIA is gone, so you don't have to worry too much about the AR-1 coup.
Oh,
Oh,
overprotecting
and I
North
don't.
Korea. I don't like that.
You
But
have to get into Colombia. No, you have to get into Colombia.
yeah. This is Colombia. Yeah, 100% has to be this.
I'd be okay with the second one going into India, so that an IP war draw for Katya can't knock him out of both of those battlegrounds at once
Yep.
in the headline.
Yeah,
But
IP War obviously a huge
Colombia was
card
a
here,
must.
and Katya gets it.
Yark does get Suez, which is nice. He's probably happy to see that that is not coming back to bite him.
All right, what's on? What did Katya get?
So she held 5-year plan. We know that. I don't. She has CNS, I believe, and then of course
Yep.
this.
Okay. All right. Yarek wins the roll, but the far more important roll is coming up here, and that hits. So Katya will take
Yeah, and
those two
that's
VPs right back, and that's very important to shut Yarek out of contesting Pakistan and India. And you are right. This means that I would have liked to see that one in India. That could have meant Yarek could take that. Well, he wouldn't take it now, regardless.
and interesting. I mean, she's just giving up Venezuela here. Um,
Probably
is that
knowing that Yarek can take Libya or Venezuela, but not both. And we're going to see
yeah?
if Katya redrew a four op, or maybe is even willing to play China here. These are critically important
I would,
countries.
yeah, I would happily play China here. I think I would have done that in reverse. I think, or maybe just taken Venezuela and foregone Libya for now and been like, well, that's life. Um, the Middle East is just so easy to lose. Oh, but no one cares about Venezuela. No one cares about Venezuela.
Yeah. So yeah, and we took Burma instead of Venezuela. Is Katya really going to be able to fight for Asia Dom here? So that's six
I
countries, if assuming Philippines, right? I guess it would be six, and Yarek has access to Afghanistan.
I I don't think there's a way that she's getting this. Um,
I mean, a Lao
which
flip
is
is very annoying.
true. Although I think she has Fidel, and I believe she has Korean War. I don't think we've seen that, right? Um,
I do not
so I
think
think
we've
her
seen the
only,
war.
so potentially her only known 3-op is 5-year plan, which obviously you can't play mid-turn. Fidel's a must event.
Also, if I were Katya, I don't know if I'd want to be spending this time fighting for Asia Dom. I would rather take Zaire. I would rather fill up the bottom half of South America. Um, even fill battlegrounds in the Middle East. Like, okay, and there's China. Okay,
Okay,
Katya is playing
so
like someone who has the scoring.
yes, and there's now nothing we can do about that. So probably just gonna go ahead and take my space now.
Yep. Okay, so you know what? We didn't like Katya's Indonesia play, but it works out great for her. She gets an immediate 4 VP payoff out of that. But at what cost? Katya was filling up countries like Burma, Laos, and Afghanistan, And now Chile, Chile and Argentina are sitting there at just one. Zaire is not filled. Middle Eastern battlegrounds are, and we one op could take Middle East domination here. There's a lot that Katya didn't do in order to get off that Asia Dom.
Yeah, and something that I said was wrong, but still, just a two op. That's a very weak South America down there.
You gonna realign? Oh, and he hits it. That's
Oh,
huge.
okay. Yeah, that's enormous. She has no access back in there. Decall just got space. Decal's gone. So
Okay, here's a nice hand for Jarek turn four. Garbage ops wise, but strong event wise. CRG is very mean. OAS is very nice. Again, because Katya did not fill up the bottom half of South America, could be very important. Pope, always nice. Going to contest Poland with Italy lost. And Missile Envy could be nice as well.
yeah, this is a tough choice. What's your headline here? I would probably go with CRG here. But I mean, there's a great reason to go with OAS. If you're feeling saucy, you could try Missile Envy. But what are you thinking?
I like I think I like CRG. Oh, Missile Envy. Yeah, Missile Envy could be amazing, but it could also be just a miss. Okay, and there's Brush.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, Katya hits on the brush roll, flips over Libya, which was at full odds. Ooh. Okay, never mind. Missile Envy was obviously my
pretty good one.
choice.
Ooh, nice roll. But yeah, that's a good hit.
And now it's important. If Katya had rolled a 6 on that coup, she'd be in there. But now Yarek probably can just get CRGs off, and yeah, Katya's purged here. Also, you wonder why Katya did not headline purge over um, Brush, right? Brush certainly could have waited. So the fact that she held on
Yeah,
to purge means she has something else. She's got another 4 that she didn't want to give to Missile Envy, right?
yes, I was thinking exactly that. And I think the only four, I don't know, would you rather get purged or would you rather give him a four op coup? Because I think those are realistically the two options here.
Yeah, it depends on my hand. If I have cards like Alliance, whatever, the purge is fine. It was, but I think it's more denying the coup. Taking the one op coup of Panama, we got a big role, and it still didn't really do much for us. We just didn't want to give up our position in Africa.
Yeah. Um, but Africa is going to be looking okay here. We could flip it over with something if we wanted to. I don't know. I'm kind of inclined to just. I think I might have played it a little differently. I would have played the China card control and then evented Nixon.
Yeah. Okay, so Katya hits the roll on Libya, and she scores a Middle East domination because of it. So good for her on one hand, but on the other, just a garden variety 2 op takes Iraq, well 3 op I guess, with the purge, and you get Middle East dom that way, and maybe your brush instead hits Venezuela.
Right, right. I agree with that. Um,
Okay, OPEC
and
as
there was just
well.
it seemed like no, but no matter what, it seems like you could just do that later in the turn. Like Libya was always going to be sitting there at full strength. Like I don't think unless Yark drew Sadat, he wasn't going to take a country adjacent to Libya.
Yeah. Okay, but the flip of Libya does give us 2 VPs in Middle East, saves us 2 ops from needing to get the Dom, gets us another VP on OPEC, South African. Okay, well, here's the other possibility: is that Katya said, "Well, I've got a lot of events here. I don't getting purged is not devastating for me. So far, she's played 3 events.
Yeah, it has not been a super painful purge. I mean, she probably would have rather not been purged, but maybe she just was like, well, if it happens, it happens. It's turn four. Make him have missile envy.
Yeah, yes, I would definitely rather have not been purged than been purged. Okay, and this will cost 1 op. And what will this dump? Kitchen, which certainly
Kitchen.
is not active, and so I like the Pope here. OAS is good too, but the Pope is a problem.
Yeah, Poland is huge.
And I believe
Warsaw, I
Warsaw is in
think,
the
is in the
disc.
deck.
Is it in the deck? Okay, well, for some reason I thought it was in the discard, but yeah, maybe it's in the deck. Okay, and we get Europe. Another mediocre hand ops wise, but again, some good events. Duck is safe with We Will Bury You gone. And we haven't been talking about it much, JR, but that VP track looking scary. 13 is a high
Yes.
number. So, if you're Katya and you have South America, you're thinking, okay, is there a path here? I get a Dom. Maybe I salt for OPEC. Europe is going to be okay, and yeah, special makes sense here as well. That's going to be two VPs and create some problems.
Yeah, to your, I guess this gets us the coup, is the benefit because she's got to respond to this. I mean, we have Europe Dom now, even temporarily. But I was thinking Duck for 3 VP is nice, but I guess we can still take it AR1 if we feel desperate enough for VP and we'd rather forgo the coup. But
I
this
would
should get
rather
us a
have
coup.
the three VP than a coup here. I think with this hand.
Yeah, I mean, what are you doing? Like a coup on either Angola or Argentina with a 3 op? Like, not,
I don't like.
neither
Yeah,
are
I don't
super
like that.
appetizing.
I don't like that. So yeah, we get the coup, but I would have rather taken the three VP
Well,
of
we still
Duck.
can.
Okay, well we hit a big
So
roll. We
that's
were
true.
probably scoring Africa Dom anyway, though.
Right, but now we definitely are. I mean,
Yep.
ABM is around, so if we don't take that coup,
You
speak the
call it,
devil.
JR. The other thing I do have to that is fair is we right now don't have a path to Millops. Um, so if we had simply played Duck, we don't have a path to Millops. So that could have been part of the calculation for Yark as well. He could have said, well, getting the coup gets me 2 VP anyway.
Right. And I don't mind this play, but I think I would have scored Europe first and just got that obligation out of my hand because we kind of have a lot of things we want to event here and not a ton of ops.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got some obligations here. And even if Katya just plays a 2 to take Argentina back, I guess we could put Bear Trap into Chile. Okay, yeah, and this is just going to take both. Okay, Yarek at this point needs to. Well, you see, and this is kind of why I think you probably want to score Europe now, but you also want to take Uruguay.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Which is kind of why I wanted to wait, but I think you just need to score Europe right now.
Yep, and that's exactly what he does. Yarek probably not keen
I
on
would
giving
make,
up the VP of Willie, so I suspect that goes to space. Um,
yeah, I think it's a Willie space, and I would event our man here hunting for South America. Um,
yeah,
Bear Trap is probably our AR7.
okay, yeah, thinking about. Okay, yeah, it feels like he needs to take Algeria. Yeah, I like an AR7 Bear Trap to maybe to try a coup or whatever we want to do. But yeah, I like spacing Willie here. I do not want to give up this VP. And we hit the roll Yark with headline peak now.
Katja has had some very, very ops friendly hands. I mean, this is, I think, like at least the second hand she's had 3 4 ops in it.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. Katya's definitely had the better of the ops here, but Yark has had some good events to keep him in it.
yeah, I agree. Um, he did keep decall away successfully. She got destall, but
And interesting, one small step used for ops rather than the event. Could have been a good event here, but doesn't stop headline peak, puts us potentially closer to not being able to space the bad two, so I get it. Yarek thought about the event. PCR is a nice event. I like to try to event it, even when I control both countries. But taking Africa Dom is important, and now we're just going to bear drop. Yep.
that'll make sense. Um,
Okay, well, if scoring's got to
well,
come, I think these are two of the ones we wanted to see. Obviously, would have probably preferred Africa, but I think can we score central control here again? The ops are terrible, but again, VOA, how I learned both could be good here. And this is going to be a turn 7. This is going to be its Kennedy hold to turn 7, clearly.
How crazy do you want to get? You could assault in the headline, Jack DEFCON up to 5, and then you could just realign Italy
Ooh,
at
yeah.
+1, or coup it with like an ABM or something that you pick up. But you could do that. It is scored, but that does get you another Dom on the board.
Yeah, our ops are
Um,
just so bad. And we got 2 scoring cards sitting in our hand. Man, I
yeah,
might be worried about a BOCCC of Thailand with Southeast in our hand. And we got to get
yeah.
5 out of there. Five's a lot. I don't know.
It is a China card coup under Salt in that case, so it is, only a 4-op coup of an overprotected 2-stab, which isn't super juicy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I
And yeah, I would feel much better about your play. Oh, and just an Africa headline. And nothing Yarek can really do about that. He's only going to get his 2. Unless he wants to use
yeah,
VOA here to remove both from Zaire. You think he'll do
yeah,
that?
which I mean, VOA for 1 VP is not a good VOA.
No.
Um,
What is VOA going to do, though, if not that? Is it just both in the bottom half of. Is it for all 4 from the bottom half of South?
I think I might end up just doing. Well, she's in the trap. So I mean, you could remove from the bottom half of South America, and then
I was also going to suggest Southeast Asia. 1 Indonesia is important. That's a 2 VP swing.
yeah, this seems fine. And maybe she'll miss a roll. That would be very nice for us.
A miss roll would. Yeah, there's a huge roll. Oh, and she does miss. Because what I was going to say is I'd like to see if we had a 4, then we could take Brazil and Laos back. Now we're just going to get the control. 2-op coup, okay, enough to
Okay.
get 1 in there.
And that probably is enough that she won't event libs right now if she has it. So we score central on our next AR.
Yeah,
Um,
Lib's event here would be a nightmare.
we'll
We'd have to
lose.
spend Kennedy to protect it. I think yeah,
Yeah,
this has got to
we'll
be a
lose.
4-op, 3 Brazil, 1 Laos, right?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I don't know if there's actually even a 4. Oh, Muslims around, I think, which would be fine to use here. But other than that, I don't think there's a 4-op left.
Okay. Yarek probably looking for exactly the same thing we are. We will bear you flower power gone. NATO, Marshall, U.S., Japan gone. ABM purge gone on NTB. Yes, you're absolutely right. Muslims is the only one that's out here, and I think I would go yes, Muslims. But the other thing is, if I had Muslims, okay. Oh, I yeah.
I know Laos contested, but I don't know. I'm terrified of libs, which now I think makes all the sense in the world to play.
Yeah.
Now that the obligations are taken care of.
Okay. Yeah. Katya wants her 5 VPs, and now she's going to be sad. That was she's giving up 8. Yeah, because we would have had to play Kennedy to protect, and then if we ate a jam, that's extremely uncomfortable.
Right. We do. The scoreboard is actually gonna start looking okay here. I'm assuming we get this Southeast Asia off for what is it right now, like
It's
4?
4. Yeah,
Okay.
that was even, and now it's just going to be 2. But shuttle's not nothing here.
No.
Could matter in the Middle East. Unlikely to matter in Asia at the moment. Could matter in the Middle East once Sadat comes.
Well, I mean,
Yep. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say we're only a Lao flip away from a shuttle aided even Asia at this point. So I mean, it could matter in Asia too.
Yeah, you're right. I was with the other thing. Okay, well, I was going to suggest a thing I don't need to suggest anymore, um, which is the DEFCON Jack up to 5 for VPs, which you still could do for 2, but I guess is not that great. Jacking it up
I
to 5 and then potentially having a real line on Italy on AR1, but obviously, Katya gets sacked first, and ABM is not around, so probably won't see that.
Yeah, Duck is going as well. Okay, kind of glad that wasn't invented.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I would jack it up to 5 here. Um,
Okay.
Junta's even around, I think. So even if you jack it up to 5, there's a decent chance to get lowered in the headline.
Yep. Yeah, you could eat a junta in the headline and then a big China Karku of Thailand on AR1, which would be a nightmare. I don't like that. If you're gonna poke, do Brazil, or take Africa Dom back, or put two in South Africa, or okay, here we are here with the reshuffle. I don't believe we've seen Gunman, so I think Gunman is in Katya's hand. And again, this is not a
Correct.
Kennedy hand, so we're going to be holding him again. We Katya does get Junta, so that will presumably be her headline, and we will presumably headline CMC, but that's not gonna save Panama,
I
right? This is
think
an
she
easy Junta, isn't it?
has. Yeah, this seems like an easy junta to me. Um, I guess you could headline Lone Gunman and just repair it as well, but I don't know. Junta just seems better. 'Cause you can junta into probably Panama, coup it, and then just AR1 repair your Brazils and your Panamas as you
Well, you're
need
not
to.
cooing it. You'd be libs, okay, because you wouldn't be cooing it because if they do CMC.
Oh, yes, yes, correct. Um,
CMC less good against libs, but do we have a better headline? IP War is needs a 6. One small step inactive. It's way too late for NORAD. Camp David's nice, but can be played anytime. Sadat's nice, but can be played anytime.
yeah, I think Cuba still makes sense. I mean, if you make her spend 2 in Cuba just to take them out, that's a pretty okay outcome for us. Um, so I
Oh!
think oh, that's enormous.
Oh my goodness. I I would have rather. I guess you didn't want to lower. Okay. Well, first of all, a huge roll that dramatically changes the balance of power in Asia. Circle that. That is a huge moment in this game. Okay. Interesting. So just goes the two Panama and one Mexico. And now the question is, does Katya coup or does she take Brazil? Oh, and now gonna junta.
Okay. A little risky, but you end up with both, which was probably the best case scenario in any case. And that's
Okay.
an Asia Dom. That's an Asia Dom from Shuttle.
Yeah. That was a full 10 VP flip in Asia, right?
Yeah, it was. Um, what did she have to give Shuttle last turn? What did she do with it? She took Brazil. That
Flipped
was pretty
Lao.
important. She had the scoring.
She flipped
Oh, she flipped
Lao.
Lao.
So saved 2 VP. Um, but that could potentially cost her 5.
Right. I mean, he did hit the 1 in 6 brush,
Yeah,
so
yeah. Katya couldn't have
it's
been
it's
worried
hard.
about
It's hard
that.
to say. Yeah, it's hard to say. You need to play around that.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. The 1 in 6 IP war. Huge, huge roll here. Okay. Katya now got to regroup, refocus. She's still very much in this game, well ahead in the Middle East. But Africa's a problem. Okay, now there's gunmen, but she's not going to learn much, I don't think. Yep.
No, I think she sees like 1 card or something,
Yeah.
maybe 2.
And Jarek has arms race, and so going to force Katya to do a 2-op coup here. But yeah, so Katya well behind. Katya behind battlegrounds in Central, but up battlegrounds in Europe, South America, Middle East. This is very much a close game heading to final. Katya has a War Games path, but doesn't really need to be thinking that much about War Games. Just
Yeah, I mean, now the either player has a Warriors path almost. I mean, hers is she's got 2 doms on the board. Yark's got 1 dom on the board, and the Korchak's about to go down to 1 when he events Camp David.
Yeah. But he's going to give that VP back with you too, presumably, unless he wants to space. But okay, that's realignable. That's Hassan realignable at +2 for Katya. Well, I wonder if Katya might try realigning that and Venezuela.
I like that play. I would do that play. Um, Probably I would start with Venezuela since she knows we don't have a 4-op to take Chile
Yeah.
this AR anyway.
So also Eastern Europe looking incredibly weak right now. Warsaw must be it must be in the deck. I don't
I
think it's
kind of
in.
think it's in her
Is
hand.
it in Katya's hand? Okay.
I
Um,
think.
so Katya's going to want to hold on to that
Yes.
or
I
trigger
mean,
the
yeah.
event. If that is punted for ops, opens up a huge opportunity. Nope, just going to place influence over protect stuff. Okay. I'd be thinking about spacing that. I would. I mean, boy, I'd be thinking about spacing you too.
Yeah, I think that could make a lot of sense. We don't need 3 ops a lot, and a bunch of VP sounds very nice. Maybe a 4 VP swing because you're not playing it.
That does nothing.
Yeah, I don't love this.
Cameroon is fine. South Africa's also been sitting there contested 1-1 the entire game. Um, I would have rather seen those two ops just go into South Africa. But okay, here we are, turn 8, and a pretty nice hand here for Jarek. He can space Quagmire. Ortega is a problem. So I guess is this our Kennedy hand? Or
I
Ortega's
think it's
unspaceable. We have salt.
you
So we
could self quag it and put Ortega in.
yeah, boy. I think I'd rather just Kennedy, right? Ooh, OPEC. OPEC puts Katya on the doorstep of war games, and VOA would trigger afterward.
Yeah, my first thought was, oh, VOA easy, stop it, but that obviously does not work. Um,
You could
Now I
headline. You could
think
headline Ortega if you really don't want a Kennedy. You could just headline Ortega here, which Katya would probably pass on the coup. Would just do nothing. The event would do nothing, and then just coup Nigeria.
right.
Or you could headline Kennedy, dump just Quag, Suez, Kitchen, Ortega, hoping to pick up Africa, I guess, or Asia, really, is what you're hoping for. Or War Games. I don't know. This is tough. What would you do,
Yeah,
JR?
I have been burned by holding Kennedy for too long before, and I just never find a use for him. I think this is enough that I would Kennedy. I'm also scared of war games. I want to go hunt for some VP in the deck, maybe. There's a lot of blue, at least one VP cards in the late war. Um, I think I like Kennedying here, but there is an argument to headline Ortega, space Quag, and stomach Suez, I think.
Okay, but what's VOA going to do? I mean, yeah, okay,
That's annoying.
that's annoying. But if you're VOAing, I guess you're committing to Kennedying later in the turn. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could salt and give Ortega. But if you salt and give Ortega, I mean, I'm looking way ahead here. But if you salt, presumably Katya will immediately coup Nigeria. Then you give Ortega, and you don't get a coup back.
Right.
I'm yeah. Okay, takes out a Zaire. Now this is now threatening Africa control and threatening to flip Argentina. But if Argentina is flipped, could be realigned.
Yeah, I guess this does mean that you could go one Argentina to the country just north of it, Paraguay.
Paraguay, yeah,
Um, but then you're still just open to Thatcher the Betrayer, just flipping it right back on you.
yeah. This is tricky.
I think I almost would have rather seen the last one out of South Africa, just so Katya really didn't have any access at all to African battlegrounds. Because if we take Zaire, pretty good chance she just fills that one up and tries to get Botswana.
Yeah, if we take out of South Africa, she just coups Nigeria, right? I think she's going to do
Right,
that
but she
anyway.
did that anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, this at least evens up temporarily South America.
And we're going to feel real stupid if Katya has Iron Lady. She does not. That would have been an annoying event.
Yeah, that could have been quite an annoying event.
You jam Argentina event that we're holding Kennedy. Okay. All right, that's not bad. Space Reformer is a nice, easy space. Glasnost is inactive. We flip Nigeria back. Portuguese is not a problem once we fill Zaire.
You do have to be careful with Glasnost. Katya is the
That's
higher
true.
seed.
That's true.
So
Never
if you
mind.
put
You're
so unless
absolutely
you
right.
hit your space, you can't event that.
You're right. So yes, that's absolutely right. Katya is the higher seed. So if we trigger Glasnost, that's effectively a loss. So you're going to have
If
to
she has
space. If she, of course, yes, if she has war games, you're going to have to space first.
The good news is we did want to space anyway. Spacing spacing Reformer makes all the sense in the world. We want those VP. We want that card gone.
Yeah, reformer is a problem. An active reformer is always a problem, but
Yeah.
here it's especially a problem. A close game here. Katya also with Millops. Okay, and there we go. Katya to space. She's going to miss that roll. I think I would space reformer here, unless we could take Venezuela back, even though it's realignable. Huge roll coming up for Jarek.
He gave it.
Oh.
No, he gave it.
What?
Or it froze.
I think
it was sitting there like. Okay,
yes,
okay.
It froze.
Okay.
He missed.
It was sitting at the bottom there, like you've evented a card and you're waiting for your opponent to decide what to do with it. So okay, that makes much more sense. That's a huge problem for Katya.
Yep, so that's just it's an empty AR.
Okay, yeah, he's losing connection a little bit.
Okay.
So yeah, now what are you going to do while we wait for him to get fixed here? Because you really do want that Glasnost event, but I don't think you can afford to put it to 6, can you? Or do you think you're just losing anyway? So you're like, well, if we tie, we tie.
I don't think you want to do it AR. You certainly can't do it before AR7. You could Glasnost. I think you could salt. Again, sorry about this, folks. We're just waiting for this video. I hesitate to skip around because sometimes Anton likes to substitute his own video. There we go. Okay, we're back.
There we go.
So
yeah, you could salt for something.
You could also just space Glasnost, not get and try and pick up the VPs that way. You got to go Zaire and take a central dom.
South Africa could be important. I mean, we're one. If Katya takes South Africa, she's one coup away from having Africa dom for herself.
Yep.
Which we really cannot afford.
Yep. Now the other thing is Venezuela. Yeah, we could just take Venezuela, but it's also realignable at +3. I guess you don't really have a secondary. With a 1-op, I might have taken a 1-shot realign of Venezuela at +3, clear Jarek out completely. But okay, Jarek gives it. He gives it.
Risky.
That is, oh my goodness. Now, okay. And Katya does not have it.
And CRG isn't the end of the world. It is annoying. It does set up that realign. But I do understand this is going to set up a temporary dom in the Middle East as well.
Yeah.
So now we've got 3 doms on the board. We are down 6, which is scary, but 3 doms on the board. Although you can't score Asia and Middle East dom.
Yeah. Oh, we get Asia, we get Africa,
Huge.
and we
Those
have
are
headline
huge.
peak.
So this has to be an Africa headline if it's safe, right? Because that's where the coup's going to be.
Yeah, I think it has to be Africa if you can get away with it. You just don't want to see APM.
Is there anything worth a couple VP? I mean, we don't have war games, obviously, but Asia and Africa get us to +4.
Yeah, Yuri does not bother us. Yeah, I think this is clear Africa.
If you wanted to get crazy, you could missile envy again, but I wouldn't ever risk that. I would
That's.
just,
I mean,
I
I get you.
guess. Okay, so go ahead.
No, I was just gonna. If you eat a coup in Africa, you can just fill South Africa, but then you're fighting for this dom. I would rather headline Africa, get eat a coup in Argentina, and then also get to score my Asia dom. Right, this is a nice 5 in Africa. Could be 5 more in Asia. Turn the VP track from red 6 to blue 4.
That's true. I was thinking that, the most likely coup target here is probably Angola. Um, and then we can take South Africa and at least pop one in Botswana or something, and we could threaten some realigns on both battlegrounds in Africa. But maybe it makes sense to just take our 5.
I think I like taking my 5, and Yark does too. And we don't want to get into a fight over Africa with Yuri in effect. We
Correct.
cannot be doing that.
Um, EEU is a very nice event. If her hand is weak enough, it could even maybe get us a Europe Dom off.
Yeah,
Um,
Europe EU would have been a fantastic headline for us if we didn't also have 3 scorings in our hand.
right.
Now Warsaw was evented, so East Germany is well overprotected, but obviously does attack Poland. Oh, and she's gonna give up 3 more VPs.
Ooh. So I mean, she must just have DEFCON. Like, 'cause that's a disaster. Because now we're in war games range.
Yeah. Now presumably this will be Middle East, right?
You would think. Um,
Boy, why
that's
would Katya give those
the-
VPs?
she has China. Um, CIA got evented, right? That's out of the deck forever.
Yeah, CIA's gone.
Grain is spaceable. I don't know. That seems okay. That's quite annoying.
But it's a 3-op
But
play we can fix with a 1.
right,
Yeah,
and
that's a
we take Canada just to
yeah, that
ensure it.
that was a 3-op play we can answer with a 1-op. I don't like that. Now Yugoslavia doesn't get Dom. Yeah, Katya needs another 4 to take Dom, and then we could just answer with a 2.
I'm just still stuck on the duck play. I'm trying to figure out. I mean, okay, so
So Katya,
does she have
yeah,
another?
Katya playing like somebody who has Cal on top of that. But if Katya had
Right.
Cal, no, she doesn't. She would have played Cal for the event, not Duck.
Yeah, that's absolutely
Cal's
true.
an
I mean,
extra
yeah,
op and 1
it's
fewer VP.
extra. Yeah, that makes total sense. It's not active, so I do
Maybe,
agree with
yeah.
that.
And if Katya had Grain, she would have spaced Grain over Teardown.
Yeah, because Purge is in the deck again, right? So you don't want
Yeah.
to get stuck with that.
I'm fine just eventing
Um,
EEU in the middle of the turn, just to be annoying. Oh.
oh,
NBB
you
is
love
a
to see
little bit
South.
annoying, but obviously South America is huge. C5 does nothing. Yeah, that's huge for Yarrick. And now, yeah, that is Katya's best region. If we look at this board in final, Katya's not going to get a Dom in Europe. Her
No,
best region is South
she's not.
America, and she just lost the scoring. Africa, we should be able to lock up 4 battlegrounds. So even if we eat a coup there, we're fine. There's another VP.
And now we can score Europe and not have to worry about that one VP.
Yep.
I don't mind doing this first though. Just
Yarrick
contest
does
it a
need his
little.
mill ops. I will say that.
Right, but I mean, a missile envy or nuke subs queue on Guatemala. makes sense and seems fine.
Yeah. Oh, and there's a UN of. Okay, so she did have Cal. I don't understand that though. I don't understand why you gave Duck, and you could have UN'd Duck and given Cal.
Yeah, that I mean, it saves you a VP.
Saves
It's
you
the same amount of
VP.
ops in the end, but
One
one less
VP,
VP.
very much could matter here.
Yeah, I mean, being as the lower seed, especially being at 7 versus 6, is huge.
Yep. So anyway, that's important. So we did see why Katya decided to. Oh yes, and yeah, the Yuri play. Yeah, we saw why Katya decided to give Duck, which made sense. But I would have just given the other DefCon card instead.
Yeah. Oof.
Having to
And
give
there goes two
special
more.
is annoying. Yeah, so that was a really rough hand for Katya, and now Jarek with an 8 VP lead. He's got Central unscored, Middle East also unscored, but Jarek may just fill it here with Salt. I think that's what I do. I just put Salt into Israel, right? Even up the Middle East
Yeah,
right now. And then Missile Envy is a great hold for turn 10. We headline Missile Envy. We have Headline Peak. I love the idea of headlining Missile Envy turn 10. Whereas Salt turn
yeah.
10
So
is
do
quite
I.
weak.
Yeah, not a big fan of Salt turn 10, and obviously we can't event it there because we lose 2 VP on Mills if we event it. So I think Salt fill it. There's War Games.
This is GG, folks. Wow, what a hand.
Yes.
Purge, Usuri, Star Wars. Yeah, I don't mind salting turn 10, but it needs to be a salt for an event that is definitely going to flip a battleground. Something like US Japan, something like Fidel, rather than something that might flip a battleground like Brush War or ABM, like we often see in the mid war.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all academic. This is an unbelievable hand and should be a nice easy win for Jarek. I
Yeah.
mean, not an
Even
easy
with
win, not easy for the easy now, but not easy. For this game was very much back and forth, and there was a moment there where it looked like Jarek could have lost.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, Katya got up to 14 VP or something in the mid war. Kind of a classic Twilight Struggle game, right? Soviets shot off to a big lead. We did just enough to hold them off, and the U.S. looks like it's going to take it comfortably in final. But this is the Star Wars pick up Duck and then score War Games
Yeah.
for me.
Uh,
Boo.
no, probably worried about Aldrich. Right. So
I mean,
you don't
you would
want Aldrich
wouldn't wouldn't she
to
just headline Aldrich though?
maybe it wouldn't headline Aldrich into headline peak.
Well, but if she's War Games hunting, like I guess it doesn't even matter, right? No, this is better because Aldrich can't get rid of Star Wars and War Games, so
Right. That's
you're
the idea.
winning on War Games no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay,
So Aldrich
sorry,
can't
you're
get rid
right.
of Star Wars and War Games. This and also decal headline maybe for a Thailand flip. Then Yara Kuz, and
Yes,
then Katya snipes War Games. Nope, she's going to take a coup. So that's going to do it.
congrats to Yarrick.
Yarrick with the victory. Okay, so Yarrick scores the upset, at least seed-wise, in Game 1. He takes Game 1 via turn 10 War Games. Congratulations to Yarrick. But there's more Twilight Struggle to come. So we will be back tomorrow with Game 2 of this series. Players will switch sides. We'll also have Game 3 if in fact the series goes the whole way. But this was an exciting one. Certainly a lot of interesting moves to talk about, and I'm glad we got to do this one. JR, any final thoughts before we wrap up?
No, definitely looking forward to Game 2. Hopefully, we'll be casting it with all our fingers still attached after the 4th of July this evening. So thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah. All right, folks. That'll do it for this game. Thank you, JR, for joining me. Thank you to Jarek and Katya for playing this game. Jarek for sending the video. Thanks to Anton Scott, our executive producer, for getting this one on the air. And thanks most of all to you for listening. We hope you enjoyed this game as much as we enjoyed bringing it home to you. But until next time, for JR Jones and Anton Scott, this is Justin Abramson signing off for now. That was fun, but now it's done.
I heard a young father, a very prominent young man in the entertainment world, addressing a tremendous gathering in California. It was during the time of the Cold War, and communism and our own way of life were very much on people's minds, and he was speaking to that subject. And suddenly, though, I heard him say, "I love my little girls more than anything," and I said to myself, "Oh no, don't say that." But I had underestimated him. He went on, "I would rather see my little girls die now, still believing in God, than have them grow up under communism and one day die no longer."